In this lesson, lesson 2.6, our essential question is, repeat after me, how do you write 3-digit numbers using words? So in this lesson, we're going to be writing 3-digit numbers using words. All right, if you open up your book to page 105, go ahead and pause the video to do that. On this page, we are being asked to write the missing numbers in this piece of a 100 chart. And then after we write the missing number, we will go down to the bottom and find the word or the number in word form, and we'll circle it. So if you look, what is this first missing number? We've used 100 charts before to find missing numbers, and we know if we go to the left of a number that we're subtracting 1, and if we go up, we're subtracting 10. So before 12, we know is the number 11. So go ahead and write 11 on your chart. And then if you go down here to the bottom, remember that we have our poster and our mini posters hung up. If we go and we find the number 11, we know that this is how you spell 11. So we'll go down here and find the word 11. I'm going to go ahead and give you some time to fill in each number, and as you find the number, go down and circle it, and then find the next missing number. Go ahead and pause the video to do that. All right, so if you filled in your chart, we know that after 13 comes the number 14, and we know looking at our chart that this is how we spell 14, so it's right here. We'll circle that. Going along the chart, the next missing number is the number 29. So when we look at 29, we know that the digit 2 is in the tens place, and the value of that is 20, and the 9 is in the ones place. So we would find the word 29. So on our chart, we know that the tens numbers is where we will find 20, and then we go back and we find 9. When we write a number like that with a tens number and a ones number, it will have a dash between the tens and the ones, 29. All right, our next missing number is 35. So we're going to go down and we're going to find 35 and circle it. Next missing number we have is 46. If we look along, we know that right here is 46. Our next missing number is 52. So we know that 52 is right here. All right, go ahead and look at the ones that you have circled. Make sure that you have not circled the words 41, 92, or 53 because they are not numbers that we wrote into the chart. They were already there. All right, so if we look at the math talk, we want to describe how to use words to write the number with a 5 in the tens place and a 7 in the ones place. So go ahead and pause the video and think about how we would use words to write this number. All right, if you look, the 5 is in the tens place, so the value of the 5 is 50. We know if we look at our chart that this is how we spell 50. And we will put a dash between the tens and the ones. And we know in the ones place, the value of 7 ones is 7. So we will write the word 7. All right. All right, go ahead and turn the page. On this page, we are going to be looking at 3-digit numbers. There we go. We're going to be looking at 3-digit numbers and how we will write those numbers using words. So if you look up at the top, it says that you can use words to write 3-digit numbers. First, we'll look at the hundreds digit. Then look at the tens digit and ones digit together. So if you look at this first number, 245, in order to write this number, we'll first look at the hundreds digit, which is 2. So we would write that 200. And then we're going to look at the tens and the ones place together. So how would we say the number with 4 in the tens place and 5 in the ones place? We would say 45. So that is the tip on writing 3-digit numbers with words is you look at the hundreds digit first and write that, 200, and then look at the tens and ones together, 45. Let's look at this next number. First, we look at the hundreds place. The hundreds digit is 7, so we know that is 700. And then we look at the tens and ones together. So how do we say the number that has the 1 in the tens place and 3 in the ones, 1 in the tens place and 3 in the ones place? That's right, it's 13. So the whole number is 713. All right, so let's look at the first number we have here. So we have the number 506. So our first step is to look at the digit in the hundreds place, which is 5. So we know that that would be 500. Go ahead and pause the video and trace 500. And then we know that we look at the ones and tens place together. So if we look at 0, 6, we know that that's 0 tens and 6 ones, so we know we have 6. So we have 506 because there's nothing in the tens place. All right, let's look at number 2 together. So again, think about what our first step is in looking at this number. It is looking at the hundreds place. So what is the digit in the hundreds place? That's right, it's 1. So we will write, using our chart, 100. All right, so on your page, go ahead and write 100. And then we look at the tens and ones placed together. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to write 100. And if we look at the tens and ones placed together, how do we say the number with 8 in the tens place and 9 in the ones place? 89. So in order to write that, we'll look at our tens numbers. Here is 80. So we'll go ahead and we'll write 80. And we know that we put a dash between the tens numbers and the ones. And we will find 9 on our chart. So when we say this number, it is 189. We want to make sure that we don't just write 189 because that's not how we actually say this number. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do the quick check problem number 3. And then down here, the second section of this page actually gives you the number in word form. So you can find each of those words on your chart. So we have 400, and then we have the word 15. So I'm actually going to do that one with you, 415. So we don't actually write 400, we just know that there are 400, so that tells us the digit 4 is in the hundreds place. And then 15 describes the tens and ones place. So then go ahead and continue in this quick check problem. Then you can go ahead and complete the next page. And finally, the problem solving page.